All right.
Boom. We live. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Marcel P. Black. We are back once
What's going down?
again.
What's going down?
Another edition of In Search of the Black Messiah Deluxe Edition, where we're breaking down track after track. You know what I'm saying? Song after song. This is song number 8. Or have you. Before we get there, I must shout out, you know what I'm saying, you know, everybody who was on the administrative side of the building, of the album, rather. Um, the label Maroon Music, which is my label, executive produced by Brian Williams and Stephen Brown, who is Fifth Child, mixed and mastered by Fifth Child. All songs were recorded by Fifth Child at Cole's house in Jackson, Mississippi, and all the songs that was added to it from the deluxe edition was recorded in Baton Rouge by Shin at Socket Studio. So as you already see on the screen, man, I have a living hip hop legend, a legendary MC. Like I just told him, man, it'll take me 2 or 3 podcasts just to go through his story because he's done so many things and been super duper diverse. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And all the things he's going through, man. For the people who are watching, this is my guy, Wordsworth, man. You know what I'm saying? So if I was live, I'd be like, yo, give it up for Wordsworth. I'd be like, oh. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, good brother?
I'm good. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
100%, man. I'm good, man. It's an honor and a pleasure, bro. So, I always, every interview that I always do, or what have you, I always begin with this question: how did we first meet?
We first met in Virginia at I forgot the name of the event right now, but it's you got the picture up there. We
Yep.
met at an event in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I came down there. I try to see all opening acts, man. I know a lot of artists that don't typically.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to get down there. I saw you on stage. I loved the presence, what you was rapping about. And so when I saw you, I bigged you up and then we just kind of chopped it up over merchandise and stuff like that. And then stayed in touch, man. And then you brought me out to Baton Rouge and to the barbershop, which was a dope event.
Mm-hmm.
And we just been in touch since then, man. So yeah, that's how
Yeah,
we
man.
met.
So like, I like a lot of times when it comes to like opportunities and networking, I always tell the story how you and I, you know what I'm saying, began a relationship. So as he said, it was May, no, it was late, maybe May or late April of 2019. There was
Yeah,
a festival called Nine Pillars, put on
yeah,
by a guy,
you
fellow
feel it.
man, you know what I'm saying, in Charlottesville, Virginia. And
Yeah,
I was he booked me for the festival. He was like, yo, I'm gonna have you kind of like the undercard headline. I said, okay, cool, whatever. You know, we discussed bread, all the other good stuff. And he's like, yo, he said, I got Wordsworth. He's like, I say, it's Comanche. I say, is my guy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So,
I have to say so.
um, yeah, that's I call him Sensei. I'm gonna have him on here sometime too. Or on other podcasts. That's one of my mentors, people who I really look up to. So, I was on tour. I was doing like a little mini run leading up to that festival. I did um one show in North Carolina, and
Mhm.
then I did a show in Roanoke, and then we ended the festival in Charlottesville at the Nine Pillars Fest, and like that we did like 3 shows, me and my DJ at the time. Oh my God, I feel so bad. His name just left my thought. Oh God, what's his name? My DJ at the time. This will come back to him. I feel so bad now. Um,
Yeah, so
he don't
good.
watch this no way. So anyways, but anyway, so it was a lot of stuff that kind of had went wrong with the other 2 shows, right? And so I was really relieved to get to Charlottesville, and like it had been so well promoted that I probably made like a good $200 at the table before I even hit the stage because well I had done a show in Charlottesville before, and the crowd was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And then I shot a video in Charlottesville, and I just released it right before I got there. So the city was kind of full with me already. So
No,
fast forward, I know you're going to be there. I'm excited. I'm on stage, and I see you walking in, right? So I see you walking in. So all right, let me turn it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I see the man is in the building. Let me turn it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing my thing. And I look, so by the time I get off the stage, like they had moved my merch over. I saw them moving my merch over while I was performing, but I didn't really know what was going on. And I saw they was making space for you. Any other time if somebody would have touched my merch, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, hold up now, come on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
But this
got
is, you know what I'm saying? But this is Wordsworth. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? Somebody did me a favor. So yeah, we was at the
you.
merch
Yeah,
table.
yeah. I would never do that to somebody
Right,
personally.
right,
I wouldn't go move nobody's merch. I would
right,
ask them personally first
right,
up. or if it's the manager of venue, you know, whoever's
Right.
throwing the event, I would definitely do that, you know.
But you Wordsworth, man, you a legend, man. It was so like, you know, it was you, you know what I'm saying? So you know, and this, so like I said, it just so happened that, you know, our merchants set up next to each other and we chopped it up, man. And so this is a picture as you see, um, you know, this is right after we got off the stage, just right by the mercy, what have you. And at the
Yeah.
bottom, you know what I'm saying, this is Ghost Dog Cesar Comanche, and my DJ's name, who I will remember in a second. Illa Dope. My bad, dope. My bad, bro. DJ Illa Dope, you know what I'm saying? And myself wearing a 9 pillar shirt. And you right there, man. And yeah, we chopped it up and we exchanged numbers and things of that nature. And then a couple months later, you said, do I be doing shows in Baton Rouge? And I was like, yes, I do. But I was like, I ain't really got nothing right now. And then, you know, with the event that I was having, you know what I'm saying? Hip Hop DX partnered with me. And I was like, you know, we want to cover the 3rd anniversary of Fade to Flow. He was like, but man, you know, we love what you do. He was like, you know, but for it to be on Hip Hop DX, we kind of need a special guest. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, you know, somebody that's a little bit more than just local. I said, okay, cool. And I remember in the back of my mind, you had just asked me about doing the show in Baton Rouge. I got the perfect thing. So we was able to get you out there. It was, you know what I'm saying? Hip Hop DX did what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Got you flew out here. I remember I got your flights wrong. So I got there about an hour late to pick you up from the airport because I I got the times mixed up. But you know, we got you in the hotel. We was able to do some media stuff with the antidote with you. You know what I'm saying? You did a dope interview with the antidote and Tubby, and then you dropped an amazing freestyle that had us all dumbstruck or whatever. And man, you know, and we've been rocking ever since, man. We've been rocking ever since. So that was a good time. Like for me, like when I'm talking to young people, I'm always talking about the power of networking. I'm always talking about like not only saying that you do things, but being in a position to where, like, I don't like to ask somebody to do something if I can't contribute in somehow. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that, like, you know, everybody thinks they're nice enough to get what they get based off of their talent, right? But the thing that really cements relationships is if, you know what I'm saying, a good personal relationship, but a two-way relationship to where, you know what I'm saying, when you come to somebody, you're not coming empty-handed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, for me, I was really happy to like be able to, you know, you asked me, I was able to deliver. And you know what I'm saying, and it was real cool. You know what I'm saying. So
Dope night. It was a very dope event, man.
Yeah, man. You people still talk about that, man. And I've seen like you've worked with some other artists in Baton Rouge since then, right?
Yeah, me, Zeus and Bean, we got
Yeah.
a crazy record, man.
I'm trying to see when they gonna put that out. Well, I'm saying, man, because
it's a record. It's my record, actually. It's my
oh
record.
word.
Yeah, I was working on this song, and I came up with this hook, but my voice doesn't have that southern drawl that it needed, that sound. So when I'm thinking, I'm sitting here and I got the song and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, this song could be crazy if I get that hook right, you know. So I laid the hook reference, but I still don't have the voice. So that's one thing I love about doing music and that I learned. It's just that you don't got to look for you to do everything. You know, that's one of the things I learned, you know, from working with Ace too. In general, just like, you know, sometimes somebody else can do the hook. Even if you write the hook, somebody else can do it. You know what I'm saying? So me not being selfish with the music, it was just like sitting there, and I was like, who have I met with that voice that could do it? And then what was dope when I was talking to Bean on the phone about it, he already knew exactly the tone. You know what I'm saying? He knew exactly what I wanted to sound like. He said, yo, you wanted to sound like this person. Because I referenced the person. He was like, yo, you want to sound like this. And I was like, yo, that's exactly what I want. So that's even another thing. When you can talk to somebody and they can just like automatically get it. And then I can send the record and then it's like, boom. So, I mean, the song is just, it's phenomenal. You know, the hook and then them on it, you know, really took it to another level. So, yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. It's one of my favorite records I've done, and it wouldn't be without them doing the hook and being on it. To be honest, like the record would have sat there.
But they took it to another level. Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like I would have sat there with the record because I'm looking for that particular voice and everything. So I just, luckily I have that patience, so
And like once again, bro, see, like, man, I'm really happy to hear that because words, bro. Rappers from Brooklyn don't come to Baton Rouge for rappers. To rappers from Brooklyn don't reach out to Baton Rouge artists. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
on a major level or on the underground level. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I love the most about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I loved about our community. Like my goal was like Zeus and Bean had been putting out music for a long time, but like they don't even live in Baton Rouge. They live in like a super duper small town, and they come into Baton Rouge and they join the community. But like for a long time, they was kind of frustrated because what they were doing was a whole lot different from everywhere else, and they didn't know where the community was, where the hip hop heads was at. And so like I was at a coffee shop one time, and a guy who used to shoot videos for him, he was like adamant about giving me their CD. Yo, you need to listen. He's I've been riding around with the CD in my car for 6 months to give it to you because they're not really online. I want to
yeah,
give you the CD. I'm like, okay, boom, all right, whatever. So I put the CD in, and this happens to me all the time. People always give me CDs. I put the CD in. I'm like, yo, this dude's spitting, and they got some crazy content. Check it out. And they got some crazy content. Like I love their content, like kind of like the socially conscious stuff. And so like, look, so I called them. I'm like, yo, no, I think I messaged them on social media. I was like, yo, I want you on my show. Like I heard that you haven't found your community. I want you on my show. So whenever I do the anniversary shows, that's kind of like my all-star show. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I pick some of the best artists who made like some of the biggest impacts on the community when they performed. So they performed the first time and they killed it. And so I want to say I think they was on the same bill as you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That time, but I want to say words. That might have been like maybe because they came out in April and you came in June. April might have been their second or third show. So by the time you saw them, they might have had 5 shows under their belt.
nice.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but and
Yeah, I
so
thought it was dope. I just thought it was dope.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. And like that just speaks to like the networking to just making yourself available. You know what I'm saying? So like they was able to get on the record. Like it's one thing to get a verse from you, but like for you to invite them to be on their record, that's a whole different level, man. That's dope. And like we really appreciate you. Like people are still talking about you, bro. Like people are really still like, man, when you bring your words back, I'm like, man, when this pandemic gonna end,
right.
and then we can talk about other stuff. But yeah, so
Yeah, I don't
um,
mind, man. And I'll have new music out by then. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
like,
right.
I'm working on several projects at the same time, and then I got the book out, and then I'll probably by the time that is, I have the second book out. So
Right.
I'm just like staying busy. Then I got the song on your album, so if I'm out there, I
Yeah.
can perform
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
We definitely, yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's
It's a
it's
lot.
it's so many ways for us to intersect. So look, man, we can talk. Like I said, you got so much stuff going on, man. We can talk forever. So let's talk about the MC stuff, man. Born in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, EMC squared. Working with Master Ace, working with Tribe Called Quest. Most Def, Black Star, Lyricist Lounge Show. That's when I first became aware of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Educator, went to University of Miami, got his master's. He's doing hip hop education. You know what I'm saying? Teaching music and things of that nature. Down in Florida right now. And like you said, an author. You know what I'm saying? You just dropped the book. I got the book. You know what I'm saying? When it first came out. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? On Right Now, what have you. I see Blueprint drop the book. I see a lot of people dropping books, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? It to me, it just makes like Wordsworth, man. You nice with the words, so it just makes sense for you to get there and like really break down your music in a book. You know what I'm saying? So I just recently got into hip hop education. You know what I'm saying? I've been teaching for about a year, like I'm saying, teaching the hip hop class that I created. And I remember when I first got into it, I called you and we discussed it, man. So if you don't mind, can you just give me a little bit uh just talk about like how you began to like teach hip hop and um actually going back to school to study hip hop. So to further education in the culture.
Well, I actually I went back to school. Well, I became a teacher about 5, almost 6 years ago, and
Mm.
I was actually teaching reading and TV production.
Okay, okay,
So my school ended up having a grant, winning a grant. But before that, I decided I wanted to teach people how to be a better songwriter.
Gotcha.
So I actually hooked up with a studio out here called the Vibe Studio. And then I actually started teaching at their studio. And I would have people for 3 months pay for 3 months worth of teaching every Wednesday. So that worked for 3 months and that worked out well. And once I did that, I was like, man, but I'm doing this with my regular degree, and degrees raise money in a way. If you got this degree, then get paid more. So I was like, man, I'm doing this without my master's. So I went back to school. I went to the University of Miami and I got a master's in music business. So that
Gotcha.
way,
Okay.
anything I do, I'm solidified not only from my experience in the industry in itself, but education wise, I can back it up. So, so I did that. And then once I got the master's in that, coincidentally, my school applied for a grant and we won a grant that was like I think I might even be under, but it was maybe a couple million or something like that, or like $1 million. Yeah, it was like $1 million, a couple million, something like that. So they knew what I did already with music, so they said, what do you need to start a music program? And they gave me free reign. So I designed this classroom and I got all the equipment and everything needed. So I teach music production. So I do everything from helping you write, helping making the beats, and then kind of guiding you with beats, guiding you with songwriting, recording the song. We got a full blown studio in my classroom, recording the song, and then we do music videos. So I do the whole gambit. And I even touch on the business in certain aspects, depending on where we are, because my class for music is only a semester. So I can't, sometimes I got to double back, as a teacher, you know how that is. You could double back, like, this week we're going to still stick on this. So I teach TV production, I teach music production, and then we even use some of that money that I could also teach film now. So I teach TV, film, and music in that classroom. And each one's different, so that's where I'm at with it. And that's how I got to do the music production. And then within that same time, I went back and got another master's in secondary education. So I have 2 masters and my my bachelor's.
So since I've been using it, just using the hip hop education hashtag, I found a lot of MCs and Black men. Some people actually teaching hip hop, but I've severely underestimated how many men from our generation, from hip hop culture, are classroom teachers. You know what I'm saying? If they're teaching, math or social studies or whatever. Like, and I think it makes sense, man, because in the essence, that's what we're doing when we're on stage, right? Like we're the educators. So if we're bringing up this or we're whatever, so it makes sense that like for me during the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? Like I lost a lot of opportunities to perform, like about 40 grand worth of tour money, you know what I'm saying, because of the pandemic. But when I say I teach 4 times a week, and whereas when I say I plan to rock my class in 45 minutes like I'm on stage, like I stay up late, I'm going through my lessons, I'm making sure my points is tight, you know what I'm saying? But like, so I definitely get that same feeling, some of the same feeling I get when I'm on stage in front of a crowd, when I'm rocking a group of middle school students on on Google Classroom, you know what I'm saying?
I keep a lot of it, like, one thing is we need more Black male teachers in the classroom. Like overall, whether it's hip hop, whatever you're gonna teach, it's only 2% in the whole country. So when we complain about why we're so far behind from a racial standpoint, it's because the only people and examples that kids see aren't us. A lot of examples, I should say. So that's what really why I love to teach as well. But yeah, I kind of go in the classroom. I'm real flexible, like sort of like when I'm at a show. Sometimes I'll freestyle and stuff. So, but I go in with a main concept of what we're doing that week, and then I kind of gauge the audience similar like performing. Like you said, it's like being on stage. Some songs I might do, some songs I might skip. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes I got you. Like I mean, you definitely have to like go with the flow of the class. So like, back 10 plus years ago, I used to be a part of a class called Lyrics Anonymous. at a nonprofit that I was managing, and it was teaching young people how to rap, right? 10 years
Right.
later, my students don't want to rap. Like I asked, like, does anybody want to know how to rap or write raps? Like, no. Okay. So I was like, okay, so let me switch it up. What do y'all want to do? We want to talk about rap. So that's what we're gonna do then. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna break down, I'm a conscious rapper with a history degree, right? So we about to so it's basically it's like what I do is like a hip hop meets social justice class, right? We take a we use hip hop lyrics from, I mean, we began in the Bronx in 1969, you know what I'm saying, to put everything in
Right.
context, and we bring it up to current day, and so just put everything in context and things of that nature. So another question I have for you.
Yep. Mhm.
Before we get into your music and the song we did, in the middle between educator and MC, it says author, right? So you recently dropped a book. At this point in your career, could you tell us about the book? And at this point in your career, could you tell us like why you felt that this was the right time to go ahead and add author next to your, your name with all these great superlatives?
I mean, really, for me, it's been like, for me to be here this long, I think it's really because I do things differently, right? Like if I was just kind of just going along with the fact that I could rap and then just making songs to be making music, I wouldn't be here. So
Mm,
like, there's a reason why my last album, Champion Sounds, that was 2019. Me and Pearl Gates did, produced by Quincy Jones. That was like nominated for one of the best albums, top 8 in this book called Best Boom Bap Albums of 2019.
yeah,
But for me to be able to even do that, I'm not going into making music because I'm Wordsworth. I'm going into make it on a competitive level and recognizing where it should be at on a level wise and sound wise. Sonically is very, very important to me. So like having Quincy Tones add live instrumentation and Gates on there helping as well and helping the executive produce the project, I think all three of us put together maybe my best album to date. So overall, that also lends to the fact of me wanting to write a book. So when I do the book, I've always had stuff. I started writing an autobiography like years ago. Like I have it here. I even have the book cover. I
mm,
have it like pretty much like done. Like I could just like put it out, but it wouldn't be a complete story yet. And as I kept writing the book, I kept accomplishing more things. So I was like, man, I can't
it's not
close it
time
yet.
yet. It's not time. Yeah, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right, right.
So as I'm writing that book, I still felt like there was some things in there that I needed to kind of still put in there. So I had to go deep, man. I had to start thinking about, my mom and all these things. So, when you start writing those books, man, them autobiographical books, that ain't no joke. So I was like, I want to put a book out, but I want to put something out that's different. How do I do something that's different? So I thought about my albums and my albums being books already. So what it came from was just gonna be me putting out my albums as poetry books. So I just basically would give you my album in literary form and then you could read
Mm,
it and go about your own business. But then when I would put it down and I started like kind of elaborating on each thing, I think what it helped do was actually give my narrative voice and my actual thought process to people. And like I'm not just rapping, because if you think about it, if you right now just play your song to somebody that never met you, 16 bars sounds nothing like how you talk.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right, right.
so people that read the book are able to be like, yo, this guy's really talks or thinks about
Mm,
it. It's not like I'm just putting down these bars and writing. There's actually like a method to my madness. So, hence I guess the reason why it's like Wordsworth, the value in each word, like in each line. And, I'm thinking about it. So that's what the book does. The book gives you kind of a behind the scenes thought of each bar is, that I wrote and why I think it's important and, my stance on it, and yeah, man, there's books like that, right? So here's the other thing. Now there's books like that, but here's the catch. There's no books like that necessarily with the rapper doing it.
right, 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 right,
You
right,
know what I
right.
mean? So you'll get a book like that, and it's like, uh, you know, Wordsworth rhymes, and then it's like, you know, Erica Badu breaking it down. It's not
Right,
like
right, right,
that doesn't give you 100% authenticity of what I really be thinking. That's what
right.
you
It's not written by the rapper, by the MC.
right. It's not
Right,
Shakespeare telling you what he meant.
right.
So even if you think about that, to this day, you go to a class, you study Shakespeare, you're still trying to figure out what he meant by that. You know,
Right.
so I rather put it out there, and you know what I meant by it. And even from that, you still can maybe delve a bit deeper. But that's the importance of it, is that you know what I meant by it. I think it also gives a different voice of me. And going forward, I love rapping, but as I get older, you know, I don't think I'll be jumping on stages at like 70, 80, but I do think I'll be on panels discussing my perspective of the world. And those books help to align with my perspective of the world. So there we go.
So for the people watching, what's the name of the book and where can they find it?
The book is What Words Are Worth, Volume 1, New Beginning, and it's on Amazon. So What Words Are Worth, Volume 1, New Beginning on Amazon. I used to have the book next to me, but I didn't bring it
Yeah,
out. Right.
I done moved stuff around. I had it up here by me too.
Yeah,
But yeah, man,
right here, but
congratulations on that, man. I saw, you know, I saw a million screenshots of people who copped it, and you know what I'm saying, and
the people came out.
it did well.
Yeah, yeah, and which for me, you know, is dope. The music, when I put music out, the music does well too, you
Right,
know,
right.
which is dope because, you know, in these days and times. So the music does well, but the book doing well helped me solidify where I'm going, because the people that aged and grew with me are no longer listening to music as much.
And
They
they're not
may
going
listen
out to the clubs. They're not going out to
to
when you
that.
come in
They like
town. Right.
that literary work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They take time out, they're reading, they're absorbing, they're in that stage of absorption of reading literary stuff. You know, I have the audio book done too. I have the audio version done. I'm just, yeah, it's been done. It's been done since I did the book. But Audible has these little tweaks that I've been having to fix. Every time I submit it, turn this, do this. So the audio book though, I have it though. So I have it sitting there as well. I have some friends that got it though. I've sent it out to friends before. So, you know.
Man, I am a fan of Audible.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's dope.
yeah, yeah. I can give you the audio book too. Um, but the audio book, I think another thing about the audio book that's dope is different is I redid the entire book. Like as far as I of course I read the entire book, but also got Ace on there because Ace did my forward. Ace Ace is on there, so you're gonna hear Ace read. You hear me read, but then you also hear me do all the verses of the entire album over. I did everything over, and so it's
How long did it take?
think about 3 days.
That's it. Oh, so I'm thinking it took longer than that.
No, well, it's 3 days, but it's maybe about 30 hours, 40 hours.
Intense. And I know you was in there sweating. You just, that's real work right there.
Yeah, because you got. I mean, it's not a game. I'll be honest with you, it's really not a game because remember you're reading and then you don't like that sentence, how you said that word. You got to go back. You got to fix that. You listen back. Oh, that whole paragraph I got to redo. I got to cut this. It's no joke, man. It's me saying 3 days. Don't think like 3 days and I did 2 hours here, 3 hours there. It's more like you gotta get vocal rest because you can't just read that long loud and your voice will change. So it was some time, man. It's some time for sure. So, but listening back to it when you hear it, man, and just it's ill. It's ill, you know, for me to hear it back that I did one, and then hearing Ace read the parts about me and all of that. So I got this little hitch with Audible. I've been resubmitting. My boy's been helping me fix it. So hopefully this weekend I get to submit this one other track. I had to fix like the seconds on it. They got this thing where like they got to start this second in this second. Then I'll be promoting that. But you know, I enjoy doing it, man. Just to say I've done it, you know, that's where I'm at in life, you know.
Right. So before I get into your song, you mentioned the vocal rest, man. I have to. This is another way I got to credit you, man. I remember talking to you about like how to manage your voice and things of that nature. So real fast, 2019 September, I'm doing like a little show run in Nebraska. So I got some shows in Nebraska. I do those were the shows that I was booked for, paid for, blah 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 blah. I had a show that I got added to in the last minute in Kansas City, and very last minute, voice is pretty much done. I'm drinking as much tea, blah whatever, you know what I'm saying. But I really wasn't taking care of it the first 2 or 3 shows, but like I should have been. So I tried the last minute to drink the tea. Fast forward, I get to the show, Words. I get up there. Hey, yo, hold up. I drink some water, Words. Nothing comes out. I had to call my whole set, right? Boom. So now I remember when we was texting, I went back and saw our thread. I'm asking you. I remember I asked when you was in person. I asked you, but then again, and so you text me some pictures of what I should drink because I was so afraid that, man, if I can't get through 4 shows, you know what I'm saying, without my voice going out, how am I going to do this 2-week tour with like 12 shows in 15 days? You know what I'm saying? And so I stood steadfast by the vocal regimen you taught me, from the diet to what I drank to the tea. And the most important thing was rest. Didn't stay up late. I slept as long as I possibly could. I rode by myself, so I was silent. I didn't really talk on the phone while I was riding. You know what I'm saying? I literally I would call my wife and check in with my parents or whatever. But the most I would talk was getting stuff set up for the venue. You know what I'm saying? So I was strict on the Wordsworth vocal regimen. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you. And I've made whole podcasts about how to save your voice. You know what I'm saying? Based off of what you taught me. So big praise to you for that, and thank you. I live by it now.
Nah,
I live by it.
I mean, man, I've had incidents, man, but I had to learn that my voice was in that frame of mind, you know? When I did the lounge show, I'm one of the main characters and my voice went out and we got to film in a few days. Like they had to take me to a voice specialist. So, you know, I had that tea and then I had to be quiet. And then when I went on tour with EMC, they'll tell you, you know, we doing back-to-back nights. So when my voice is getting like that, I'm like, I'll be in the van, we driving for 10 hours and I'll be quiet 10 hours in the van with the crew, just sitting there, just listening, laughing and pointing and quiet for 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just really understanding like that's what it takes because the rest, you got to rest. When I came to do the Baton Rouge show, I was like, yo, I'll catch you later. You know what I'm saying? Like I went, he was like, yo, you don't want me to take you nowhere? I was like,
so I remember, there was a battle that night. I'm like, yo, it's a battle. You want to go? Because we were talking about battle stuff. He was like, nah, I'm straight. I'm good. I'm just going to chill. Right.
Nowhere, man. I don't go nowhere. If I got a show and I get flown into a town or I drive, even here in Orlando, like if I drive to a show to Orlando, if I drive to Orlando for a show, if I get there like the day of, I sleep. Like I never like to ride up to the club and then jump on stage or nothing like that. Unless I have to, it would. But like really, that's last. I don't know. I don't play those games, man. I don't play those games.
Nah, man, that's important. I learned my lesson the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But look, so while we had this picture, you probably can't see it. In this picture up top, it was close to the merch table. Boom. Another thing that was cool about me meeting you at that time, I was able to get a physical copy of Champion Sounds before anybody else. Because you hadn't even, it wasn't officially released on Fat Beats or nothing, right? So I was able to get a copy early. And I think you autographed it for me too. Because I remember my partner had got some stuff for you to autograph, and I think you autographed my copy too. So you put out so this had to be summer of 2019. You put out Champion Sounds with Pearl Gates, produced by Quincy Tones, man. And I want to get into a song before we get to our record. I want to get into a song from that album. This is. I'm just a product of holding toasters and corner posters. Let me run that back. This is Worlds Apart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take us off the screen so the people can see without interruption. But this is Worlds Apart, and we'll be right back with you in a couple.
Yeah, that's Sil. That's Sil. He's also on the album, and then that's Gates, like real close friend. And then in my part, you're gonna see my boy Dave Daw, who is like an extraordinary, well-known engineer, and he's done like quality projects as far as like executive produced one. He's recorded everybody from Jay-Z to a whole bunch of people, and that's my boy Dave Daw. and he actually produced Run on my Mirror Music album, which is one of my biggest records. So that's some background. Dave Dog.
Amazing. So this is Worlds Apart by Wordsworth and Imperial Gates from Champion Sounds out.
I'm just a product of holding toasters and corner posting, smelling the coke on them, choking down from overdosing. I'm just a product of liquor stores and laundromats, fathers going mom on crack, Timberlands and army hats. A mother in debt, stressed as they come to collect. Mornings I slept, late nights hung on the steps. A father in pain, depressed and injecting his veins. While I'm at school, my boys robbing the train. Watching the ball game, might fade away at the Garden. Super Nintendo, lightheaded, blowing on cartridges. Hard living, better starving, but clever though. Apartments was never warm, heart was forever cold.
Watching the ball game, Phil Sims was throwing passes. Sega Genesis, Shinobi, golden accent. Furniture covered up in plastic. Heat from the radiator, heart of a gladiator.
Holding toasters and corner posting.
Two stories of tribulation from the start.
I'm just a product of liquor stores and laundromats.
Same pain, same struggle, but the worlds apart.
A mother in debt, stressed as they come to collect.
You know the routine, the cream, New York City brain.
A father in pain, depressed and injecting his veins. While I'm at school, my boys robbing the train.
Studied book lessons and looked up the crook legends. Gave money to reverends as a down payment to book heaven.
Hood brethren, opposite of good credit. Money always could get it. Whip cherry wood fetish shit.
On flights floating, cruising in the air, sea to sea. Different cribs everywhere like an Airbnb.
Eyes red from red eyes. God bless the dead eye. Resurrect soul, break the mold, dodge the fed eye.
Good faith in winning, good taste in women. Pretty face, overweight, a good shape and thinning. Adapting for rapping in the hood, fakes pretending. Traveling to cabins in the woods, lake for swimming. Have a couple dollars somewhere put safe for spending. When defending, have a lawyer that's good, cases pending. My scriptures can fill up a bookcase from penning. Like the Beatles, Paul McCartney will hook straight from linen.
Holding toasters and corner posting.
Two stories of tribulation from the start.
I'm just a product of liquor stores and laundromats.
Same pain, same struggle, but the worlds apart.
A mother in debt, stressed as they come to collect.
You know the routine, the cream, New York City brain.
A father in pain, depressed and injecting his veins. While I'm at school, my boys robbing the train.
Yo, that's a dope video. Yeah, I'm assuming y'all said that during the pandemic, right?
No, that's because that's 2019.
Okay, but I didn't know if it was something that y'all shot like later on to work the album. I thought maybe that was, you know what I'm saying?
That's 2019, and I shot that my half in Orlando. My boy Damaging Minds, which actually shot the New Beginning video too for me years ago. He shot a couple other videos for us too. So he shot my part in Orlando, and then he's one of Gates' best friends. So when he went up to New York, he shot Gates' part, and then he put it together.
Oh wow! So that's dope, man. That's dope. Like that's a great idea. Especially I'm thinking like during this quarantine, I got a couple joints that I want to do, but you know I'm not going to Atlanta anytime soon. Like you give me all type of ideas here, good brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
do it. I think it came out real dope. I think it came out real dope also because of the concept is worlds apart. Being where he's at, I'm where I'm at, and we just kind of like, if you hear the bars, he's talking about his generation on certain stuff. I talk about my generation, you know. So he's talking about blowing out Nintendo cartridges, and I'm talking about Sega Genesis and Golden Axe, and we in two worlds apart, but it's still the same dynamic, you know.
Right.
So.
Now it's a dope. The whole album is dope, man. The whole album is incredible.
Yeah, that's my favorite album.
Yeah, but really, that's your favorite work?
Yeah, that would be it. It's sonically, the mixing, you know, it got a lot of live instruments on there. It would be that. New Beginning is probably New Beginning will probably be third. My first gotta be Mirror Music, because that is the one that to this day keeps me where I am. So it would definitely be, I think, yeah, it's definitely probably that route right there. If I'm right, it'd be Mirror Music. I never did this before. It would be Mirror Music, Champion Sounds, New Beginning, Our World Today, and then Photo Album would be fifth. Yeah.
Your discography is top notch, man. So
I'm just
there we go. All right. So the record we got together, right? So just a little background, produced by Donche. Donche had like three songs in a row on the album. He was on last week, tried to get him on today, he couldn't do it. I got this beat the same time I got the beat Someday for Someday and the beat for Forever Right Now at a beat battle almost 3 years to the day in Jackson, Mississippi, at the Beat Sale hosted by Fifth Child. And I heard this beat in like just the boom bap. It was the boom bap for me. I just loved that. I loved the sample. I loved the chop on it, what have you. And I got the record. And originally, I knew that I wanted like a veteran MC on the record. So I sent it to shortly after I got the beat. I was at 2x2 Festival in Columbus, and I ran into AC Alone. AC Alone and I had connected way back in like the 2000s when he came to Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Alone, man.
Yeah.
AC Alone for 20 years, maybe now.
Man, y'all were freestyle for decades. I like look. Yeah. So AC Alone was the first person who I attempted to get on the record, and he couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was touring, and I wanted to say he'd release something, and he was like, "Look, young brother, I can't even get back to you." You know what I'm saying? So then I reached out to Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Because he and I had been connected from when I brought him to Baton Rouge. And he was at 2x2 or whatever. He wasn't able to get to it. So I wrote a song. I had wrote a whole nother song that I think I probably originally sent you. And I just, for what it was at the time, it didn't really fit the album, right? It didn't really fit. Because when I first started the album, it was more kind of going towards the boom bap. But as I kind of fleshed it out a little bit, it didn't really necessarily fit. And so I pulled it off the album. But when I decided to add new tracks to the album for the deluxe edition, it was a whole lot more stuff had done. And honestly, a lot of the things I kind of talked about on the song, it was kind of like my frustration with the local rap scene, right? But I had already kind of expressed that on a project I released like during the pandemic called Angry Black Raps. So I didn't want to repeat that. Like me even talking about that on record, like it was kind of like that elephant in the room that I never addressed. And so when I finally did address it, I didn't want people to be like, damn, he's still harping on the same stuff. Even though people never know, the way we create is always non-linear in terms of when it comes out. You know what I'm saying? So I like, let me change it, right? Let me change it. And another reason too, so I sent you the record and then you called me with the verse and I was just like, man, okay. So these verses I got ain't gonna work. Let me let me rip them up. Let me rip them up or whatever. So I'm gonna play the song, and then when the song is done, we can stop and just kind of talk about our verses and just kind of go from there. So this is Hear Me, produced by Donche, featuring the legendary Wordsworth.
Cries falling on deaf ears, the police was just here. Over ex scared, he vexed after a couple Bex beers. Pants that he wore just tore, was his best pair. Back pains from the step stairs, cause he slept there. Calculating time for the crimes, the fines are less fair. You win every time, your skin color could get you less years. Pandemic can't go out for some fresh air. Sinuses, viruses, pathogens, my flesh fear. For what? Getting them to crying, my eyes got less tears. That's not tears on my cheek, nah, the sweat there. Rich or poor doesn't matter when death nears. When you die, you in the same skies as JetBlue and Learjet share. We got money for the best gear, nails and best hair. Hope that direct deposit hit or your check clears. Thinking God has favorite kids led to less prayers. Looking at the well off like he only blessed theirs. But nah, won't somebody hear me? Hear me. If they don't hear me though, won't somebody hear me? Hear me. If they don't feel me though,
Won't somebody hear me? Hear me.
I'm really living, yo. It's frustrating when the people that you writing for don't even wanna listen. Yo, but it's them that you fighting for. Was white, you be calling him racist. Instead, you let him live cause he's black and famous. Looking like a black Klansman in that MAGA hat. Hella reckless with his blessings, sold us out for scratch. Meanwhile, I'm really out here in that habitat with gang members, widow mothers, addicts, and the trappers at. They flush the children down the pipe, like the prison environments we live in, turn the victims into villains. I'm as an English-speaking slave language, articulating struggles of the youngers out here maintaining. I write resistance in every rhyme written. Because of my draw, people act like they can't hear me. Dismissing cause I'm country and I'm southern and I'm conscious from a place known to get the club popping. Acting like they scared to bump some black up in their stereo. All I'm trying to do is get my people free, but y'all don't hear me though.
Won't somebody hear me? Hear me.
And they don't hear me though.
Won't somebody hear me? Hear me.
And they don't feel me though.
Won't somebody hear me? Hear me.
I'm really living, yo. It's frustrating when the people that you writing for don't even wanna listen. When it's them that you fighting for. It's frustrating when the people that you writing for don't even wanna listen. When it's them that you fighting for. It's frustrating when the people that you writing for don't even wanna listen. When it's them that you fighting for. It's frustrating when the people that you writing for don't even wanna listen. When it's them that you fighting for.
Won't somebody hear me? Hear me. Come on. Won't somebody hear me? Hear me. Come on. Won't somebody hear me? Hear me. Come on. Hear me at all.
Yes, indeed. I love that record, man. That's a dope record.
Yeah.
So like, wow. I sent you the song, and I don't even. Did I explain the concept to you? I don't know. I don't even know if I. I don't think so. I don't think because I sent you another song. I sent you another two completely different verses when I sent you, right? And this is what you wrote or what have you. And you know, I kind of decided I didn't like what I had, but so your verse, man, like just a rhyme schemes and just the ear, like just the continuity of that particular sound. Like, what was your inspiration to, you know, write whatever you wrote in that 16?
I just write off of feeling, man, like music and its feeling. So like I'm a big like Curtis Mayfield fan and Al Green era. I'm that type of guy. So like I don't think there's music that's made probably better than that resonates to your soul. You know, so like I can listen to the Curtis Mayfield album, the Curtis album. I throw that on, it makes my soul shift. I don't really hear a lot of music that makes my soul shift. So when I hear tracks, I think I've learned to train myself and just over the course of time to listen differently. You know, so I think that's what's made me a better songwriter. And overall with coming up with ideas and concepts is just the understanding of how to identify the feeling of the sound, which is, I think really is super extremely helpful for me. So when I heard it, just the sentiment of it, it just felt like despair. When I heard it, it felt like despair, but it felt like somebody walking with despair, just kind of like talking to themselves about like what's going on around them and seeing what's happening. So that's how I listen to beats, man. I'm working on a project now with somebody and they sent me beats, and they were sending me beats, and they sent me a lot of beats, and he's, you know, yo, you don't like that? You don't like that? And I'm like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, I like this. I like that. Yo, I send you this. You don't like this? Yo, I'm thinking this be here. And I was like, nah. So then I do the 2 songs. I did 2 songs so far. And I sent them one today, and the other day he was like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, because like I have a vision, you know what I mean? Like I have a vision for what I'm doing, and it has to feel a certain way to me, man. So that's how I came up with that. And then just kind of like, as I'm writing rhymes, I came up with all that rhyme scheme because I kept coming up with different rhymes that I thought would paint a picture. So that's how I do that, man. And then sometimes I change the rhyme scheme, and sometimes I just feel like it'll fit because of the tempo too. There's a lot of things that go into me with the writing, especially like that rhyme scheme, that's there, that's there. It just feels good going all the way through with the tempo of the beat. Some other beats I might would have changed, like sound of that's there. So while you going, I was in knowing I'm in the crash though. I'm in the less though. I'm sitting back, you know, I might change, but like it just felt right because the way it was just, you know,
especially where the sample was chopped and looped, right? You know, that yeah.
yeah,
Um
that's what it is, man. Hear me, and then the way it says somebody hear me, it sound
somebody
like
asking
this.
for help, like right.
Yeah, it's despair, man. So I'm very big on that, man. So like, you know, if you hear any records I do, if you come see me perform, I think that's why people like me perform, because like emotion. You can see the emotion in how I put the show together. It's because I don't do songs. My rule is I don't do songs that I can't perform. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, yeah.
Right. So if I'm doing songs for my album, I feel like I look at it from a stage perspective. You get what I mean? I don't do a song just because it'll sound hot in the album. I do a song because the theatrics I can put to the song. So maybe that's man, a lot of these things I would just say that's how I sustain myself. You know what I'm saying? Like every song I do, if you see me perform, you can see there's it's a show. So
Right. Cool, man. So I came up with my verse. I was having a conversation. So I put my album out, In Search of the Black Messiah, October 2015. I mean 2019, I'm sorry. October 15th, 2019. And it was well received, well praised, and a lot of people who I really respect hit me up. Yo, Black, this is the best album. This is dope. You did it. You hit that mark. I was very grateful. Shortly thereafter, an artist put an album out, and conceptually, it was very similar to mine. Album is incredible. I love the album. I bump it hard, super duper hard, right? And some of the same people who I saw like giving me props in private was really like giving this person props publicly, right? And by no means was I jealous of the props this person was getting, because the album is incredible. I bought the album. I reached out to him, you know what I'm saying, personally. The album is dope. But so I asked one of my friends who he's my quote unquote industry connect. And I'm just asking him like, yo, like, I saw this, but it was different from the response I got. And I asked him, and he gave me a lot of good pointers. But one thing that he said was, he was like, being a conscious artist coming out the South is going to be difficult, because for one, people don't know Baton Rouge, but people don't know the South, period. Like, you know, of course, like when you think like hip hop, right? Boom, you think Outkast, people say Scarface, right? And then it's, you know, but Louisiana, there never really was like a national act that was known for like conscious underground hip hop, right? And so you know, and then even if you want to get into the conscious stuff, you can go Goody Mob, you can go Dead Prez, but those albums came out 25 years ago, right? In modern times, like Southern hip hop is not, you know, just stereotypically in the way it's like painted across the board. It's not necessarily seen as something that's not what we're known for. And he was like, on top of that, so you fight an uphill battle trying to be, you know, what trying to be by doing this particular type of music, when where you're from is not known for that. A, and B, you ain't got no famous cosigns, right? I'm like, you don't have any famous cosigns from your area. And so he told me that. And while, you know, the level of validity may be debated, it really it frustrated me. So my verse is like, you know, first, you know, I had to lick a shot at Kanye. Kanye was white. Y'all be calling him racist, but instead you let him live because he's black and famous. I think that we have this weird attraction to fame. You know what I'm saying? And if you and at a certain point, regardless of how reckless somebody could be, even in their celebrity, people find a way to cape for them. You know what I'm saying? People find a way to cape for them. So for me, I kind of brought that into I'm a person, you know, I'm on top of being a hip hop educator, I'm a 20-year youth development worker. And I've really been in the streets, like really doing real work in my community with young brothers and sisters in the streets. So for me, like, you know, in the era of Black Lives Matter and anti-Trump, it's kind of cool to be quote unquote woke or whatever. And I don't even use that word, right? I believe in freedom from all oppressed people, for all oppressed people. My father worked in the community, my mother, my family. So that's who I am, right? And that's happened to rap about the shit, right? So for me, I just kind of wanted to like, you know, making the verses kind of like giving my frustrations about like, you know, you dismiss it because of country and the southern and the conscious from a place learning to get the club popping, right? Like, so for me, when I started in the game, they all told me, nobody want to hear that conscious shit, whatever, blah, 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 boom. So now, okay, cool. I'm not about to fight with Baton Rouge, right? I'm gonna do what I do for the culture, but I understand that like, I'm never going to overpower club music, right? But once I started touring, and that was partly about a good 2 or 3 years, and I still do it to a certain extent. I have to fight against the bias of Southern rappers when I'm leaving my region. So it was so many years that even with the music that I've done, I've been a career conscious underground rapper since my first project, right? But I send this email and they see Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the first thing that comes to their mind is Boosie. First thing that comes to their mind is Kevin Gates, right? And so the purists ain't really trying to hear that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And so I just kind of wanted to have a verse speaking to that. And there's a lot of other Southern MCs who was like, man, you telling our secrets. Like we like, yes, like it's definitely being a battle, being a Southern MC. Like, you know, it's a difference. It's a difference between when we think of Texas hip hop, we think of Ghetto Boys, and we might think of UGK, which deserve it, but we don't necessarily hear about Strange Fruit Project. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when people think Texas hip hop, you know, they're thinking more of, you know what I'm saying, Scarface and the Ghetto Boys, or coming down on candy painting slabs than they are soul samples and boom bap like you get with S1. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yeah. And they are from Texas. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make a song just kind of articulating that, and you know, and the way the album was reformatted, you know what I'm saying? The way the album was reformatted, it fit in perfectly. So for me, I think it's cool for me. Like the song before this, the last verse you hear is Sky Zoo. The very next song, and it's produced by Jackson, Mississippi producer. The very next song is our record. The first voice you hear is another rapper from Brooklyn, Within You. You know what I'm saying? So like it really flowed well with the type of production. It fit better or what have you. And it's one of my proudest records, man. Whenever I get on a song with somebody who is just like a pure fire lyricist and their reputation of just being a dope ass MC, like I just try to do my best. Like for me, I just be like, okay, look, I'm not about to out rhyme scheme, out punchline this guy. And for one, it's not really a competitive song like that, but it's a situation to where I just try to pull from my strengths, right? And my best strength is who I am. So I can, you know what I'm saying? And talking about myself, not necessarily in a braggadocio way, but like really talking about myself in an introspective manner. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, can't nobody be Vincent better than Vincent.
Can't really think like that, man, at all. Like overall, like you're gonna rhyme with so many different people.
100%.
That all you can do is you. I mean, at the end of the day, like the verse is gonna come out of you. It's not like you're gonna be
right.
There's nothing you can drink to make you come up with a different verse. It's nothing that's really gonna get you with. I mean, you're gonna be you. I don't smoke, right? I don't smoke. I don't drink. So people people always ask me that question. Yo, you smoke, you drink? And then I'd be like, yo, how you come up with those rhymes like that? And I'd be like, my dude, I just sit there. I just sit. You know what I'm saying? I just sit there. It's and I think a lot of discipline of me going to school too, because like having a hand in homework or do a test in class, you ain't getting high in class and then doing your stuff great. You know, you can't to write that essay, you're gonna have to write that essay without these particular substances. So I just go with the mindset of going into it of just write your best, man, and be you, man.
Right,
You know,
right,
like you
right,
said,
100%.
right. Being you
Right.
is the best thing you can do, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel, you know. So
100%,
I think
100%. That is the superpower. So look, we going at a little bit close to an hour. So what I want to do is this. What I want to do is this right here. I'm gonna stop this share, and I'm going to pull up a couple different things real quick. Because I want to give you the opportunity to I want to give you the opportunity to maybe pub some of your stuff that you got going on.
okay.
Where to find you. So here's your Bandcamp. Boom. I see you put up some of your old albums. You know what I'm saying? The photo album.
Yeah, shirts.
You know what I'm saying? New Beginnings, Shirts, Champion Sounds, Our World Today, Hang With Me. Boom. And I'm gonna go to the merch for the people that's watching.
Oh yeah.
If you want to get your merchandise.
Yeah. Man,
All this stuff.
It's so cool because like, you know, sometimes I'll just be sitting there and then it's like ching chang, somebody bought this and bought that. And it's so cool how the world works now. It's like, it's dope. It's dope that you can just have stuff out there lingering and people can check you out and stuff like that, man. So the digital age of this whole thing is dope, you know. I mean, if I had to just give advice for being an artist, man, just recognize where you are, recognize what you're trying to do and where you are in your career realistically and how to flourish without doing too much because, you know, career and family and sacrifice, man, those are some hard things to balance, man, when it comes to doing this career, you know. So, but there's a way, you know. Don't be afraid to have a job and rap. I'm telling you, for those out there that be like, you know what I'm saying? People be thinking nah, I can't do it. I ain't going hard body. I ain't doing this and that, or whatever the case may be. But like, don't fool yourself, you know. Don't fool yourself. You could do it. You could do it. There's plenty of people that work a full-time job and they got that phone call to come record with a Dr. Dre or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's don't let that be like that. Keep your mindset going and let the job be the best distraction. That's how I look at it. I'll be at the job, think nothing about music. And then I come off the job, I'm more music and stuff like that. But you know, I'm not stressed out. I'm just doing what I do and then get phone calls about stuff, emails, say, yo, can you rhyme on this? How much? And all that just pops up. Then it's like, oh, all right, dope. But like, I'm not like sitting there stressed out about it and stuff like that. And I still enjoy and have fun doing it, man. That's actually when we did that picture right there is when we did the Fly Thoughts video. We was actually on a plane in Sweden. That's an old Swedish aircraft. It was a park with a whole bunch of old airplanes. Airplane museum. Yeah, man, that's really it, man. Wordsworth on Twitter. I'm Wordsworth EMC _EMC. I'm on Instagram, Wordsworth BKLYN. I'm on PlayStation, Wordsworth EMC. You got PlayStation.
And the thing about Words too, y'all, if y'all watching, Words is really good with communicating. So he ain't gonna leave you on read. If you hit him up, he will respond to you in real time. He don't have you on read, man. He's super duper easy to talk to, super duper easy to work with, man. And so it's for real. So while you pubbing, I gotta, you know, the main reason why we're here is to talk about the album. So for people who do know, whatever, it starts with the Black Messiah Deconstructed. You can get it at marcelpblack.com, marcelpblack.bandcamp.com. You know what I'm saying? We got the hoodies, we got the tees, we got the CDs, we got the
I
cassettes.
love that cover, man. I think that cover is dope.
Thank you, man. Shout out to okay, you know Mr. Fluid, right?
Yeah.
His wife. She did the Black Messiah video, and she did the cover for the deluxe edition as well as the original versions. Yeah, so that's yeah, Mr. The Works LLC, Miss Kara. Yeah, she did that.
Yeah, that's a dope. Shout out to her. That's a dope cover.
Yeah, yes indeed. Yeah, so like I said, follow him on social media. If you hit him up, he hit you back. Go get that book. Go get the albums.
Yeah, man, get the book.
If you don't,
yeah, man. With Words of Worth Volume 1, man, and you know, thanks for having me, brother. I'm about to go back attend the fam. I hear them out there. I think they ordered food and they laughing and joking. It's a Saturday, man. You know,
100%, man. We're gonna get you up out of here, brother.
The fam.
Huh?
How's your fam? They good?
Great, bro. Great, man. Great. You know what I'm saying? Spend some time home with my mom, back in, just trying to get these kids back in the schoolhouse and things of that nature. But for the people out there, man, in search of the Black Messiah, Deconstructed, marcelpblack.com, Marcel P. Black Mondays. Every Monday, I'm gonna have some new artwork, some new culture. I hate saying content, man. I call it art and culture. Wordsworth is out. Peace.